So there's a rumor out right now by Rich Eisen saying that Daniel Jones is done, saying that the New York Giants are done with Daniel Jones. Now here is where we come into a bit of a conundrum right here. This is where we come into a conundrum. First, that would be beauty to my ears to see Daniel Jones is done. There's a little bit of divide between the Giants fan base right now. Some people with Daniel Jones, some people saying, hey, we want a new quarterback. And we kind of split right now in the Giants organizations as a fan base. But I just see, I really hope we done. I really hope we are finished. Sayonara, goodbye. Like, I hope it's done. I hope it's over. I hope the Daniel Jones experiment is done. We wasted too many years on this. 6 years. It's been 6 years since any type of forward progress. 6 years. I mean, and even when you think about it, we went to the playoffs, we won that one playoff game with him. And it won't nothing. It won't nothing for it. It was horrible. When you really look at it in perspective, Pro Football Focus had us as having the easiest schedule. The year we went to the playoffs and won of 2022. That year we went to the playoffs and won with Daniel Jones as the starting quarterback. Giants had the easiest schedule in the NFL. Number one. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, like, we really need to look at where Daniel Jones lined up on the totem pole amongst great quarterbacks in the NFL or good quarterbacks. Man, you can't tell me that Tyrod Taylor comes in the game, comes in and has a better starting stats than you. Better starting stats than you. Tommy DeVito comes in and gives us a spark. People want to play even more better now. Because Daniel Jones is turnover prone.
Don't be hating.
Stop treating this man like he is Eli Manning. He hasn't won nothing.
And I've been waiting, babe.
Stop treating him like he's Michael Vick, calling him Vanilla Vick. He's not him.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
Like, we got to understand and put this thing into perspective about Daniel Jones. I'm sure he's a great person. He's a good person. But as a starting quarterback, and as a starting quarterback in the NFL, matter of fact, as a starting quarterback of the New York Giants, is this what we want? Are we going to keep wasting time? Okay, we need to build this around him. We need to put an offensive line. We need to get wide receivers. I mean, how much more do you want? What more do you want from him? I mean, I don't get it.
You having an unnatural allegiance to losers is not like you.
It just don't make sense. It don't make sense. We need to stick to our guns. We need to. I'm hoping that Joe Shane and Brian Daboll get a new quarterback. I don't care because their job is on the line this season. Their job is on the line. Like, I think even if we were to fail as the New York Giants, like, I really think if they were to fail and not have a good season this year. See, the thing with the Maras, like John Mara, he still would want to keep him. He still would want it. But the pressure of the New York media and the fan base, he would eventually fire them. So it would be wise. It would be smart to move on. We wasted Saquon Barkley's good years. Very unfortunate. I personally feel like Pat Shermer messed him up. I don't think it really was the injuries. I think it was a little bit of Pat Shermer trying to tell him how to run, trying to tell Saquon Barkley how to run in between holes. But at the end of the day, Saquon Barkley did win Rookie of the Year. So what more does he need to run through? It just didn't make sense. I remember that whole thing, but see, look, I'm talking about Mac Jones. I'm about to get into that soon. But this Daniel Jones thing, this Saquon Barkley, Saquon Barkley, man, he had a chance to be one of the greats. Now, I know injury comes into play, Saquon Barkley. But I know injury comes into play with Saquon Barkley and injury comes into play with Daniel Jones. I mean, I know both goes together. But at the end of the day, Daniel Jones, we see what Saquon Barkley can do even when he was injured and he come back from being injured. We know who we have. We still don't know who we have in Daniel Jones, and that says everything. That says everything. We still don't know who we have in Daniel Jones. That's why we signed him to that contract. That's why it don't matter who we get on the offensive line. It don't matter if we have Andrew Thomas back there. It don't matter if we have Joe Alt. It don't matter if we even had Jason Kelsey at center. I mean, it don't matter. Daniel Jones is not the guy. He is not the guy. And it's time that we give up on this pipe dream. It's time that the fan base gives up. It's time. Look at the quarterback. Just please look at the quarterback market. Look at the quarterbacks of each team in the NFL. And do you believe you can win with Daniel Jones? Do you believe? At the end of the day, we all got jobs to do. We all got careers. And if we're not playing up to par, they're going to kick us out. They're going to get us out of there. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. They're going to get us out of there. At the end of the day, Daniel Jones, it's just time to move on from Daniel Jones. It's just that time. I'm trying to have a heart-to-heart with you right now, Giants fans. It's a heart-to-heart moment. Stop and look inside your heart right now and just stop. Remove that. Remove the closeness that you have with him. Remove it. Look at the team for what it is. Yeah, everybody want to talk about the receivers. They want to talk about Darius Slay. They want to talk about Jalen Hyatt. They want to talk about Isaiah. Like it don't matter about any of them right now. I feel like they're good players. Everybody want to say, what, the offensive line? Who, Daniel Jones don't have an offensive line? We get it. The offensive line is not that good. But when Tommy DeVito get a Super Bowl commercial and you don't, something is going on. Something is going on when Tommy DeVito is in a Super Bowl commercial. We over here throwing up this. We throwing this up. What are we doing for Daniel Jones? It's just, he go all the way down the field. Throw a pick six. He go all the way down the field. Throw a pick six. Fumble. Fumble. I mean, how many times are we going to be doing this? How many times are we going to be going through this? It's time for us to have a new outlook on life, a new outlook as a Giants fan. It's just time to move on, man. It is time to move on. I don't know how long we're going to go through this. I don't know how long we're going to keep propelling this motion. I don't know how long we're going to keep living in la la land. Or maybe you do this, or maybe you do that. It's been 6 years. I mean, he's going to be in the NFL for about 10 years, and we still ain't got nothing to show for it. We've been through how many coaches? How many offensive coordinators? At some point, there is a common denominator. We all been there is a common denominator. You can change that upper part, you can change that high number. But at the end of the day, you can change the numerator. You can change it. But at the end of the day, the denominator stays the same. And that same denominator right now is Daniel Jones. Ain't no way to cut it. Ain't no slicing around it. The stats even show for themselves. Okay, Daniel Jones' stat line. Since he became a rookie in the NFL, when he was a rookie, he played 13 games. He had 18 fumbles. 18 fumbles. He completed 61.9% of his passes, 3,027 yards, and also at the same time been sacked 38 times and had an 87.7 rating. Okay, he's a rookie. We can overlook the fumbles. He's getting used to everything. You know, he's dialing it back. He's getting comfortable. You know, but also too at the same time. Now let's transition to the 2020 season. He had 11 fumbles. 6-7 less than he had before. 2,943 yards. He also completed 62.5% of his passes. That's not a big jump, y'all. That's not a big jump. And also, he had an 80.4 quarterback rating. Now, that's a drop from his rookie season. Now, teams, that first year, the second year, the rookie year, you know, you can have a little spark and then you have a little regression. That second year, you can have a little regression because teams start to game plan for you. That is understandable. He's getting injured too, so we got to keep that in play. Now let's go to 2021. He had 7 fumbles, so he had a reduction in fumbles. All right, which is good. You know, 64.3% completion percentage, a little higher than what it was. He dropped in yards. Look at this drop. 2,428 yards. And also, he went up a little bit from his quarterback rating to 84.8 quarterback rating. 2022. 6 fumbles, and a 67.2 completion percentage and a 92.5 rate. Whoop-de-doo. You know what I'm saying? His quarterback rating is going up, but what do we have to show for it? His percentage went up, and it's like I said, and that was the easiest season. That was the easiest schedule we had according to Pro Football Focus, as you can see. As you can see. But then, all of course, he had 4 fumbles in 2023. Now, this is the season that he got hurt. He only played about 3-4 games. You know what I'm saying? So he about, so at the end of the day, he played, 6 games. He played, out of 6 games, he had 4 fumbles. I just told you he had 6 the previous year. So where was he headed with this fumble journey? Come on, y'all. Come on. And that's his rating and his yards and his percentage. I'm going to kind of leave that out because it was an unfinished season. At the end of the day, we have to look at this with a full-blown microscope. We have to look at this in the eye. We have to look at this heart to heart and say, Daniel Jones, it's just time for us to move on. We should trade him. We should trade him. There's many other quarterback options out there. If you want a rookie, you want to sign somebody for agency, but we got to be able to compete. No matter how you feel about the Cowboys, no matter how you feel about the Eagles, no matter how you feel about the Commanders, at the end of the day, Commanders are looking for a quarterback. Now, you got to look at all 4 teams from a whole microscope. You got to look at all 4 teams heart to heart, bar for bar, and heart to heart. Like, you got to look at these teams. Cowboys win. They got Dak at the helm. They win. You can say what you want about the Cowboys, but they win. Jalen Hurts. They got Jalen Hurts at the helm. You can say what you want about the Eagles. You can say what you want about Jalen Hurts. They didn't do all that good this year. Like Dallas did. They ain't do it. But they got a quarterback that can win. And Washington thinking about getting either Jaden Daniels or Caleb Williams. They got a quarterback at the helm. They're going to get a quarterback at the helm who can produce and win. And who we got? Daniel Jones. That don't even match up, man. That don't even stack up. No matter how many pieces you put around him, how many good wide receivers you put around him, you have an all-time great in at running back. And then at the end of the day, like Saquon Barkley got injured so much because we rely on him and we paying Daniel Jones. And everybody said, I understand the market, the quarterback market, who you going to have. And as you can see, anybody would have been better than him in these 6 games he played. I mean, come on now. Come on. We got to be better than this. We got to do better. We got to move on. We got to. Now, the difference between, and let me read these stats up to you right here. I'm going to read these stats right now. The Giants right now are unsure to move on from Daniel Jones due to the fact of us signing him that contract. But everybody has it made up in their minds that New England Patriots are moving on from Mac Jones. Mac Jones, a guy who was drafted in the 1st round. Mac Jones, a guy that Bill Belichick personally probably called Nick Saban on, and also, too, at the same time, a guy, Mac Jones, that has an all-pro accolade. He has an all-pro accolade. He has a Pro Bowl. Come on now. I'm going to read these stats up to you about Daniel Jones and Mac Jones, and you tell me where the case lies. You tell me where the case lies right now. Daniel Jones, Mac Jones. Who is the better Jones? Daniel Jones, Mac Jones. Who is the better Jones? Who is the better Jones? Daniel Jones, Mac Jones. Who is the better Jones? Daniel Jones, who was drafted first in the 1st round, pick 6, been through 3 different coaches, 3 different offensive coordinators, and he still looks the same. And it's not the fact that he was broken. It's not the fact that he's broken. He was never that 1st round pick. He was never a 1st round talent. It's a bust. Dave Gettleman bust. Out of all the busts that he could have did, this one right here was a bust. I mean, I'm sorry. It is what it is. We got to be honest. We have to be honest about this. I mean, and then when we think about Mac Jones, who's also drafted in the 1st round by Bill Belichick. We know Bill Belichick more than likely called Nick Saban. Nick Saban, how was Mac Jones? Okay, da this, da that. And here we go, Mac Jones. Mac Jones, who's also dealt a bad hand at the hands of Belichick, hiring all his different weird staff people everywhere. Joe Judge, you know what I'm saying? We know about him as a Giants fans. I mean, at the end of the day, Mac Jones was dealt a worse hand. In my opinion, I really believe he was dealt a worse hand and produced more. This is how much better of a player Mac Jones is. Mac Jones has a Pro Bowl. Let that sink in for a little bit. Mac Jones has a Pro Bowl. Let that marinate in your spirit. Mac Jones has a Pro Bowl. What does Daniel Jones have? A playoff win. Playoff win is geared around what? Team success. A Pro Bowl is based more on individual success. Of a little bit of team success, we know. But at the end of the day, it's geared more on individual success. So when I look at that and I look at the numbers and read them off to you, Mac Jones has had a better career thus far than Daniel Jones. And it's made up in their minds that the New England Patriots are going to move on from Mac Jones. That's a winning organization right there. Now, I still think Mac Jones got a little bit left in the tank. He's been corrupted a little bit. But it's my opinion on Mac. I only care about the Giants. I really don't. You know what I'm saying? So I really don't care. But my thing of what I'm saying is that with Mac Jones and Daniel Jones, you see who is the better of the cream of the crop. Daniel Jones has been in the league longer than Mac Jones. But Mac Jones has made better decisions, better play, you know, and you can make a case that he had a worse supporting cast. He didn't have no Pro Bowl running back. Let's name a wide receiver that he was throwing to. You can name more chance of a Giants receiver than a New England Patriots receiver. These not the guys, but, you know, New England known for getting no-name wide receivers and then having people throw to him, having Brady throw to him. And they thought they could do that same thing with Mac Jones. So who was dealt the worst hand and produced more? Come on now, what we doing? What are we talking about? Cut the tape. I can't go here. Let me read these stats off to you right quick. Now, Mac Jones went increasingly down. 67.6 completion percentage, 92.5 rating, 65.2% completion percentage, 85.8 rating, 64.9 completion percentage, 77 rating. Now he had 10 touchdowns, 12 picks, 14 touchdowns, 11 picks, 22 touchdowns, 13 picks. But you got to think about it. When you look at it with a microscope, we all knew what was happening in New England. And Belichick thought he just thought he can put anybody around, but it don't work like that. It's too much talent in the NFL now. And Brady is the GOAT, and you got to be able to produce that over the years. You know, so, man, we see what's happening. You see the stat line. You see the difference. You see it, man. You see it. I mean, it's nothing to it. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no more to talk about. And Mac Jones had a better college career than Daniel Jones. And you can't even use the fact that he was playing against, people play against the weaker conferences in college. You know, they can have inflated numbers. Daniel Jones didn't even have inflated numbers against when he was not even a great conference as Mac Jones was playing for Alabama. So at the end of the day, man, it is what it is, man. Y'all know what time it is. Hit the like, hit the follow button, subscribe. Let's go. I'm out. Cut the tape.